Hello everybody and welcome to another thrilling episode of Tom's TC. And now the question I want to ask today is the motorcycle industry changing for the better or for the worse? Now I'm asking this question because there's so much change going on. We're so used to Japanese, American, even British bikes. We're not used to Chinese bikes. We are not used to electric bikes. We are not, so much is changing. The fact of the matter is, nobody wants petrol or combustion engines anymore. I've already said that electric cars are pointless, but are electric bikes pointless? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's have a little chat. I'm not an expert on this, but it's a question that I want to ask. And this is because Nathan the Posty Biker, I think I've got his channel right, I'll put a little link up, asked a question about this kind of when he went to the Motorcycle Live show, saying there's no innovation anymore. Nothing's new, everything's a bit boring. So let's get into this question and find out more. It's freezing cold this morning and I'm wearing my jeans. Let's just enjoy this view this morning actually. I love the way the clouds are rolling in over here. It's actually supposed to be a nice day, so I'm hoping it doesn't rain. So quiet up here today. And I got my noisy bike. Very much enjoying the CRF 250 at the moment. It makes total sense. In the rubbish weather, in the cold, it's just so easy to ride. The trackers are really good on the road once you get used to them and you know how to ride with them. So yeah, ta-da! I like my little Africa single sticker. And while we're talking about stickers, if you want one of mine, let me know. We'll sort it out. If you haven't already got one. So, is the motorcycle industry changing for better or worse? Now, I asked this question because Nathan the Posty Biker, I think it is, basically said that when he went to Motorcycle Live there's no real innovation, and I kind of tend to agree with him actually. I did like some of the British makes that were coming out. They look really good, but due to EU laws and emission laws, the engines that they're using are just other makes. There's no new engines, there's nothing new, and even if you make an electric bike, it's not exciting. It's just a bike with a battery in it, a motor. What would be exciting is if it did 400 miles on a battery, and did 160 miles an hour. Because let's face it, a lot of these electric bikes are actually, are actually a bit slow. They're fast up to about 100, well actually up to about 70, 80 miles an hour, and then they run out of steam. Now, no one needs any more than that, but I'm just saying it's nothing new, it's nothing innovative, I can't even say the word. Normally when you go to Motorcycle Live, you've got concept bikes that are completely bat poo crazy that no one's ever going to think are going to get released, apart from the MT-01, but that wasn't the same as the concept bike, as we all know. But it just seems like manufacturers are just going through the motions. They're just saying, oh, let's just release this bike because in a few years time we won't be able to release petrol bikes anyway, so we'll make this engine, we'll make it EU5 compliant or whatever it is, we'll stick it in all our other bikes and we'll call the bikes different names, and that's it. There's nothing exciting about that, is there? It's not like the 90s and the early 2000s where you had your Fireblades and your R1s and they were completely new game changers. There's no game changers anymore. And getting steamed up. The issue is how many adventure bikes can you have? There's so many now, and they're all just copying the BMW GS anyway and making it slightly better than that. Boring, just boring, you know. I don't think there was a bike that really made me go, wow, that's amazing, you know, like, whoa. Just same in year in, year out. So you know, I feel like what's happening is the Chinese are taking over, and whether or not you choose to support the Chinese takeover is up to you. At the end of the day, it's your money. There's a few bikes that look quite interesting from China, like the CF Moto stuff. That looks quite interesting. Their new adventure bike looks quite interesting. I can't remember what engine size it is off the top of my head, but I'll put a little picture up. So here you go. But for me, my MT-01 you know, the MT-01 for me is what motorcycling's all about. Massive, stupid engine, raw. You know, there's no ABS, there's no engine management modes or anything like that. You just get on and ride it. Can we get back to that? Are we allowed to? I don't know. Bikes are just too powerful now. They kind of need all the gadgetry, and I'm not slagging off gadgetry, but I just like my bikes raw. I think if I had the money, I'd have a nice bike with all the gadgetry. I'd love a KTM 1290, something like that. But you know, I'm running two bikes now, which it puts me in a lucky situation anyway. So what's happening? I mean, if this carries on and the industry goes into a complete standardization, so everyone's got electric bikes, every bike does exactly the same, no competition, what's the point? You know, you can buy whatever bike you want. The fact of the matter is that all the electric motors are made by the same people. You're not changing much, it's just the look of the bike. So, you know, you're buying a bike purely on what you think looks good, which I suppose is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but just standard, isn't it? It's just boring old bikes that all look the same. They don't sound different, they don't go different. I don't know. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I mean, the other thing is these bikes are stupidly expensive. You used to be able to get bikes for about 7-8 grand. Now I know that obviously that was a long time ago, and inflation and everything else, blah blah blah, but it's still not relative. You know, most people can't go out and buy a bike flat out. They need to put it on the strap. They need to get themselves into debt to buy a motorcycle. Now, I'd have a real issue choosing between a family car that's decent and a motorcycle of the same price. So I couldn't justify it. I'm just going to give you an example of bikes. Now, the new Trans Alp, the 750, looks really good. It ticks all the boxes. It could be a commuter, it could be a tourer, it could be a trail rider, be anything you want it to be. But that makes it boring. That flattens it out. That flattens a curve. You know, the only reason you're buying that bike is to be a great all-rounder. You're not buying it for any particular reason. You know, if you went out and bought a Fireblade, you'd buy a Fireblade because it's a sports bike. You know, if you went out and bought an R6 or an R7, which is now at the moment, it's a sports bike. If you went out and bought a GS 1250 BMW, it's a tourer, it's an adventure bike. But now, the bike that Honda produce fits every category really. It does everything you need it to do. But does that make it boring? Does it make it stale? Does it make the industry stale? They're still producing other bikes that fit into niche categories, but for how long? I don't know. Have I even asked the question and broached the subject correctly? You tell me down below. You tell me your thoughts, because I want to know. I want to know how you feel about the industry at the moment. These trackers on roads that have just been rained on do feel a bit skew-iff. So, do I think the industry is going better or worse? Well, I don't know. I can't see into the future. All I do see is electric bikes taking over and Chinese stuff, and I'm not keen on electric bikes, but that's not so much because they're a bad thing. I think that they're correct in certain aspects. Like, if you've got the money to go out and buy one and you're just backwards and forwards to work, get an electric bike. You know, you'll probably save yourself a bit of money in the long run. If you bought one brand new for 20 odd grand, I don't, you know, it's kind of backward. But if you're talking about terms of just going backwards and forwards to work and not using fuel, fine. That would be perfect. You know, if you've got solar panels at home or something like that you can charge it on, perfect. But that's the only reason, isn't it? There's no reason to go out and save the world. You're not going to make much difference between trading in your petrol bike for an electric bike, because it doesn't. There's no the way that they harvest the power and everything doesn't. You know, the carbon output is going to be probably marginally the same. So there's no point. There's no incentive either. But I wonder if that's going to change soon. I mean, electric cars are going to be taxed from next year for up to £200 a year. It's cold this morning. Kind of wish I put my textiles on. I've just come out of my jeans today, which is really naughty. We're just coming up through Taunton. Got the Christmas lights still on. Look at them. Oh, Christmas time, mistletoe and wine. Apologies for that. I haven't actually seen the Christmas lights. We did come out for the little Winterfest, but we didn't stay for the light switch on. Yeah, quite cool. At the front of the town hall, the old town hall. I want to live in a day when that was still the town hall, and people used to gather and talk about what witch they're going to hang next. I don't know if it's that old. She's a witch! A witch! Not a massive Christmas fan, but I appreciate the time of year. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please comment below about today's subject. I really want to know your thoughts, even if you think I'm wrong. I don't care, tell me. If you haven't done so already, please give the channel a subscribe. Check out my other videos, there's plenty on there. Check out my motorcycle live video, tell me what you think. And give me a subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I'll see you next time. Bye!